be able to see my slides. But there's one in front of me. That's so exciting. Hi, everyone. I am so excited and grateful to be up here in front of you today. Thank you for coming and spending your Saturday with us, letting us share our passion for toxin-free living with you. Now, I'm going to be honest, the last time I used a clicker, it was a bottle of Valor that we pretended, and someone else did it for me. So I'm assuming this is just, yes. Hi. So my topic for you guys today is hormone health. It is a vast topic that has taken me down many rabbit holes, and I have found such beautiful information there that I'm going to share with you today. And today, it's a lot, so we're going to bring it all in, and Jolene has done such a beautiful job of sharing a lot of that with us, and I'm just going to kind of keep going with that. We're going to focus on whole body health and what that can look like for your hormones, our hormone health, and what we can do to support that. Now, I would love to share a bit of my personal story with you first, if that's okay, why I'm the one up here talking about hormones and why this topic is so close to my heart. Yeah? Awesome, I'm glad you said yes, because that's going to be awkward with my slides if you had said no. So my story starts when I was about 15. I started making regular trips to the emergency room with severe abdominal pain. And I would get sent home saying that this is, you're just entering that time in your life and these are just normal female problems. You just have to deal with it. They'd send me home with painkillers, advice on how to take care of myself, and it was really helpful. And it got worse, and I actually got to the point where at one time, I think probably my 5th or 6th visit, I had a doctor look at me and say, because of all this extreme pain you're in, it's probably causing a lot of scar tissue to build up. And because of that, you're gonna have chronic pain for maybe ever, and probably never be able to have children. And this is before they even looked at me. They've never done any tests, anything. This is all just assumptions. And I was about 17 at the time, and I was crushed. At that time in my life, telling me I couldn't have children was like telling the woman I am now I could never have chocolate again. Or like telling the majority of you that you could never have Nisha again. Like soul-crushing stuff, right? I was upset. When you remember how in high school you would write about your goals and what your future looked like? Mine always painted a picture of getting married and having children. I wasn't very career-driven back then. But it always painted this picture of family. Family has always been so important to me, and so to tell me I couldn't have children was devastating. And so probably about the age of 18, I finally got a diagnosis of endometriosis. In a nutshell, it is where your uterine cells proliferate outside of your uterus and wreak havoc. It's outrageous. And it was good to have a diagnosis, and it has benefited me absolutely. And so at the age of 18, I got my diagnosis, and I had my first surgical procedure. Now, fast forward to about the age of 24, I have been through doctors and medications and hormone therapies, and I just had this moment of being done. I was still in daily pain, even though I was doing all these things, taking the medications that they're telling me to take, and I still had daily pain. And so I just had this moment of clarity, and I was like, you know what, I just need to start from scratch. I don't know what's helping me anymore. I don't know what's working, what's not, and I don't like how I'm feeling because of the side effects of all of these things that I'm taking. And so I stopped everything. I listened to my body. I learned to get to know it again after all of these medications. I started things like physio and chiropractor, craniosacral therapy, which is magical and kind of woo-woo, but it's awesome. And I started to feel better. I still had my pain, but it's no different than the pain I had when I was on all the medications anyways, but at least I was feeling better and my head was clearer. And so I was probably about 24, yes, I said that, when I was 24. And this moment of clarity also brought us to the decision that I don't want to be taking any hormone therapies as well. And so we decided this involves Chris, to go off of everything. And whatever I did, it worked. We were getting married in June. We probably went off of everything December, January, and whenever I did, it worked because we were told that we might never have children. And it was probably a combination of everything, but we found out just before we got married that we were pregnant. And for a couple being told that we may never have children, we were so excited. Our family and friends were so excited to celebrate that with us on our special day. And so a wedding, a beautiful baby boy later, everyone meet Maverick. He just turned 7. I started having my symptoms again. They came back, and this time, after a little while, they came back more severe. And then something was different. It wasn't the same kind of pain. It was very unfamiliar. And this is the point in my journey where I learned that we have to be our own advocate for our health. We know our bodies best. We know when something's wrong and when something doesn't feel right. And so, again, emergency rooms, I probably went about 3 times in 1 week before someone would finally take a look at me. They sent me home with the usual, well, here's some pain medications. It's just your endometriosis flaring up. Well, my diagnosis, it was the first time it didn't serve me. It labeled me into being, well, it couldn't possibly be anything else. Finally, on my 4th, maybe 5th visit that week, I stood my ground. I told them they had to do tests. I wasn't leaving until something was resolved. And long story short, ultrasound, blood work later, I was rushed into surgery. Turns out I had multiple cysts burst on one of my ovaries, and I had an internal bleed. An internal bleed, had it not been treated, was slowly killing me. So this is why it's so important to be an advocate for your health. You know your body best. Stand your ground and do what is best for you. My surgeon was fantastic, saved my ovary, bonus, and told Chris and I that once I had healed, this would be a great time to try and have another baby, because when he was in there, he went and cleaned out all that excess endometrial tissue. Everyone meet Corbin. He's 4, he's turning 5 soon, and when I was practicing this, he told me all to tell you that he loves superheroes. So after Corbin was born, my symptoms came back, and the doctors were like, you know what? It's time to get a hysterectomy. I was like, that's extreme, but I understand. And it wasn't that we weren't, we were done having children. 2 is great. We were so grateful to have 2 healthy children. And honestly, all you parents out there who have more than 2 children, you are superheroes. Right? The more you have more than 2 children, I can't believe we haven't evolved some way to have like a prehensile tail, like 1, 2 other kids that you can grab with your tail. we were good with that, but as a therapist, I understand that the recovery time for a hysterectomy is very serious. And I don't know a woman alive who is going to take 6 weeks off, no lifting, no vacuuming, with tiny humans running around. No one's gonna do that. So I went back to that place where I was at the age of 24, and I just started again. And you know how sometimes the universe just comes around full circle and you see this moment? That same month, I discovered an incredible natural path and Young Living. Woo! And it changed my life. These products changed my life. And because of that, I became obsessed with toxin-free living and learning what it does for our health, which led me to sharing, because how can you not tell everybody you know when you realize this stuff? Which led me to being up here in front of you today with a passion for helping other people find hormonal happiness as well. So thank you for letting me share that with you. Now, Jillian did such a beautiful job of describing to us our endocrine system, these external toxins that are in our life. It's so important to be aware of them, because I don't know about you guys, but I want everything on this list to be functioning as best as it can, right? And we need to be aware of these endocrine disruptors because they wreak havoc on our bodies. And the moment I started switching out these products, I was able to manage my pain through the oils and things, but the moment I started switching these out, my health changed. So these endocrine disruptors, these EDCs, they wreak havoc on our endocrine system, but also on things like our liver, our gut. They affect our stress, how we sleep. And honestly, when it comes to our hormones, friends, we are so much more than just our bits. Let's talk liver health. I promise there's stuff for the men. I was just about to go there. Men! There is absolutely stuff in this presentation for you as well. I realize I'm tossing around a lot of female terms like ovaries and things. But this daily life stuff, this whole body health stuff pertains to you, and I think we can all agree that when the women in our life are more balanced, we all win. We're winning. Well, let's go back. Let's talk liver health. Our liver is so important to our hormones because it processes and detoxes our hormones. This incredible organ has over 400 functions, and when it is focused on detoxing our body and fighting all of those external toxins, balancing our hormones and processing our hormones becomes less important. So the more we are aware of these external toxins, the better it is for our liver and our hormone processing. And once they process, they go into our gut and need to be eliminated through our gut. So if our guts are not healthy and happy and moving properly, what happens is the byproduct of these hormones seep back into our bodies. And we don't want that. Especially with things like estrogen. We do not want the byproduct of estrogen seeping back into our bodies and living there. Because ladies, that's when our health can go sideways very fast. Oh, I'm not there yet. So 70 to 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. And 90% of your serotonin lives in your gut. It's no wonder it's called the second brain. The gut can play a huge role in our emotional health, and our gut can cause stress. Stress can cause gut issues. Both of them are terrible for your hormones. So stress. Our bodies are amazing. When we're stressed, our bodies doesn't know the difference if we're being chased by a bear or whether it's just daily life stresses. It produces a hormone called cortisol, and we go into this sympathetic nervous system fight or flight survival mode. And when we're running from a bear, our body is not concerned about our hormones, right? It's trying to survive, and our body needs cortisol to survive and to keep that stress up. And when our cortisol is depleting, it goes and grabs it from our progesterone and turns it into more cortisol. And so, now the majority of us, it's not a bear. It's life. It's things like traffic and kids and work, grocery stores, your spouse giving you that look that they give you, kids, again, asking for like the snack for the millionth time in that day, and lack of sleep. Sleep plays a huge role on our mood, and when we decrease our sleep, we are automatically increasing our cortisol. Our emotions go crazy when we don't have sleep. Our amygdala becomes 60% more active, and how many of you are more emotional when you're tired? Yeah, me too. Good. Chris will be happy it's not just me. We go crazy when we're tired. And so rest is important. When we sleep, that's our body's time to heal, to rejuvenate, and it's very important. So I think we can all agree that liver function, gut health, stress, and sleep, right? Our hormones are so much more than just our reproductive organs. Now, I want to talk to you guys a bit about how we can balance and support these things, but I just want to quickly say that I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to treat or cure anything. I am, however, a gal who has been on this incredible journey and just want to share what I have learned with you. I do have a background in anatomy and physiology through my RMT training, and it is where I've found my love for learning how the body works. But the majority of the information I'm giving you today are from resources that are accessible to you. These, absolutely take a picture because they're great. If this topic speaks to you, I highly recommend these resources. They're spectacular. Okay, so daily things that we can do to keep our hormones and these systems happy. Lemon oil. Something as simple as a drop of lemon vitality or plus oil in your morning water can do great things for your body. It supports your liver detox. It helps your gut mucosa. It actually even helps get that peristalsis going and get everything moving, which we learned about is really important. Also, Digize. Digize is an excellent supporter for that as well. We actually, in Young Living, have tons of great products that can support your liver and gut health. Life 9, the digestive enzymes being one, Ningxia. Ningxia's huge. There you go, fun side note about Ningxia. This is for the men. Men, your health is very dependent on an antioxidant called glutathione that is produced in your liver. And antioxidants are what Ningxia is known for supporting. Now, I'm not gonna put this as well as the Lucy Libido book does, but let's just say glutathione is really valuable for your men's health and your function and performance. Yeah? Okay. Super important, Ningxia's the best. Now, a hormone detox blend. I believe actually there is a bottle in your guys' bag called Happy Hormones. That's what this one is. This was first introduced to me from Mr. and Mrs. Corey Deacon. They brought this to my attention, and every woman in this room can benefit from this blend. It's a simple blend of grapefruit, rosemary, and peppermint, and it helps our body, our liver specifically, process and detox estrogen. Remember how we learned how important it is not to have estrogen build up? It was like 3 minutes ago. It was super important. This does that. Now, I rub this on my liver every day. I have a passion for anatomy. Some people have passions and skills elsewhere, like my beautiful friend Bonnie. She has multiple skills. One of them is PowerPoint. She helped me put these slides together. And by help, I mean she did them and I pointed out the pretty things that I liked. But isn't that beautiful that we all have these skills that we can help each other with? Mine is anatomy, and if yours maybe isn't this big nerd passion for anatomy like mine is, your liver is right here. Your stomach's over here on the left, liver's tucked in into the right, so rolling this on your liver every day is gonna help your body process and detox that estrogen. Stress. What if I told you the majority of us are walking around looking like this guy? We take short breaths. We hold our breath all the time. When we can take deep breaths, it increases the oxygen in our blood. And that oxygen goes up and tells our brain to relax. It increases our dopamine. And when we can take deep, deep breaths, it can help our mood. How many of you have an oil on you?
Woo!
Probably most of you. Awesome, pick your favorite oil. I'm gonna take you through a breathing exercise. So what I like to do, I drop an oil on my hand. I love things like RC for taking those deep breaths, frankincense for when you're having those overwhelming emotions, lavender to help keep you calm, Northern Lights Black Spruce is a great one for when your mind's racing on you. You wanna put a drop of oil in your hand, rub it around, and then get your little scent tent going. Now, I don't know where I heard scent tent, but the moment I did, it changed my life. Get your scent tent going, and you want a deep inhale through your nose for the count of 4. Hold for 2, and then out your mouth for the count of 4. So in for 4, hold for 2, Exhale through your mouth for 4. When you're stressed and your emotions are running wild on you, take a moment for yourself and give this a try. I mean, we even have a blend called Stress Away. It's amazing. It's great for this moment of breathing.
This reminds me of a pool. Oh.
And then, take a bath. Take an Epsom salt bath. Ladies, oils like Panoe, Copaiba, frankincense, when you are feeling heavy and bloated and uncomfortable and all the things, these oils are spectacular for that. Add them to your Epsom salt, and absolutely add the Epsom salt. How many of you have had a bath without adding some sort of mix in? And just straight oils, right? It's aggressive on your bits. Add the salt. And bonus, Epsom salt detoxes our liver, which is what we're talking about. So that's exciting. And then, so you've done your breathing, you've had your bath. It's time for sleep. Go to bed. Relaxed. Go to sleep. Rub some Northern Lights black spruce on the base of your big toe. It sounds weird. I looked it up. I tried it. It checks out. It absolutely works. When your mind is racing, like most women's are all the time, when you lie down and your brain's supposed to be sleeping and you lie down and you're like, me. Northern Lights black spruce. It's great. And then you're gonna wanna rub thieves on the bottom of your feet, because if your liver is not detoxing properly and you're stressed, taxing your system, your guts are not happy, and you're not sleeping long enough for your immune system to do its job anyways, you need thieves. No one, well you don't want to have a cold while you're dealing with cramps and mood swings. And no one around you wants you to be dealing with a cold while you're dealing with these other things. So take these moments, take care of yourself, and love on yourself a little bit. Okay, let's talk about these hormones that we're all so excited to start supporting through all of these brand new amazing things. Hormones are great. They get a bad rap. We talk about them negatively, but hormones in our body, naturally occurring hormones, do great things. They protect our arteries, they help us fight infections, great for our heart and bone health, skin tension, regulates our body temperature, reproduction, libido, and so much more. Now, when we have a good amount of natural occurring hormones in our body, our chance of disease decreases. But when we have decreased amount of hormones in our body, our chance for disease increases. Now, the great part is that people who practice in medicine know this. It's a common knowledge. But the conflict is to bring up hormones in our body. The common practice is to add a synthetic hormone, which increases our chances of other diseases, right? So, and I know this, right now I'm getting breast scans every 6 months because of my hormone past and my health history. So, signs of a hormonal imbalance. All of these things, I'm sure you have been told, are just normal female problems. Well, like Jillian said, we are not meant to have these things. These are a sign that your hormones are out of whack. Now, I, as someone who used to suffer from most of these things and stand up here with a diagnosis of a hormonal condition, am free from all of these things. Most. Chris might have a little bit to say about the mood swings, but that's his opinion. Right? You can find balance from these things. You do not have to suffer through them and being told, well, I'm a girl, this is just my life. No. So, let's learn about some of these hormones. The adrenal glands in your body are amazing. They produce a master hormone, that's the word I'm looking for. Master hormone called pregnenolone. And this hormone can transform into progesterone, which can turn into cortisol. That's the one we use when we're running from the bear. It can turn into testosterone, and it can turn into estrogen. And then estrogen does its thing where it branches into 3 different ones. And estrogen, especially that estradiol one, she's portraying it perfectly. All the emotions. That's estrogen. Now, we want to keep our adrenal gland happy. It's very easy to have adrenal fatigue. We actually kind of hear that term tossed around a lot, don't we? adrenal fatigue. So managing our stress is great for our adrenal glands. Healthy immune system, oils like nutmeg and energy and Endoflex are very supportive. You can rub them right over top of your adrenal glands, which, anatomy, are right on top of your kidneys. They sit in your low back, right on top of your kidneys. So rubbing those on there not only is great for your adrenal glands, but it also gives you an energy boost. I love rubbing nutmeg. I shouldn't do that. You can't hear me. I love rubbing nutmeg over my adrenal glands because it's like having a cup of coffee, and I don't drink coffee, so that's a bonus. And supplements like Super B Omega Gies and that Ningxia again are all very supportive for our adrenal glands. Now, pregnenolone does a lot of other things, but we're going to focus on progesterone and estrogen. Progesterone is such a valuable, important hormone for us as women, from anywhere from the teenagers to when you're dealing with menopause to even if you've had a hysterectomy. This hormone is valuable for you to have balanced and in a happy state. It is responsible for brain health, nervous system, your mood, libido, reproduction. We need a good amount of progesterone to get pregnant, and then we need a surge of progesterone to hold a healthy pregnancy. And postpartum health. If we have low progesterone, our chances of having postpartum depression increase. As well, it's great for breast milk supply. We have a ton of progesterone receptors in our breast tissue. It's good for bone health and heart health. And it is a huge, I'll figure it out. That's not. There we go. It is a huge partner for estrogen, and it helps keep our estrogen balanced as well. Now, there are beautiful ways to support our hormones naturally, and for progesterone, I love Progescence. This magical bottle of unicorn essence can help every woman, and it is one of the best things women can do for their health. Now, it's not actually made of unicorn essence. It's made from essential oils and vitamin E and yam extract. And the beauty of essential oils is it doesn't force our body into an unnatural state. It allows our body to get into a state of homeostasis, a sense of balance that our individual bodies like to be at. Estrogen. Estrogen gets a bit of a bad reputation. And I get it. Estrogen allows us to hold water weight, increase our sugar cravings, decreases our libido, not to mention the emotions. That woman that was on that slide back there, her eyeliner didn't go on straight. And now she's a wreck. If that happens to you, that's your estrogen. But when estrogen is in balance, it does great things. It's what prepares our body to become pregnant. It gives us healthy skin, supports our blood vessels, our bone health, and our memory. And again, the reason it gets a bad rap is because what we see now in women's health is that there is an estrogen dominance. We are very low in progesterone. And this is just, again, because of lifestyle, external toxins. We naturally secrete less progesterone as we age. But there's also something in these endocrine disruptors called a xenoestrogen. And these are hidden everywhere. They're hidden in your detergents, your beauty products, insecticides, plastics, food, and that's why we're seeing such a huge increase in this estrogen dominance. Now, for estrogen, I love clary sage. The world is an incredible place, and it has provided us with something called phytoestrogens. These phytoestrogens are just made from plants. Clary sage has a huge amount of them, and they help us support natural estrogen levels in our body. And it's just a great oil to help manage our crazy hormonal cells. Now, I need you to remember that this is a journey. Don't get discouraged. Our bodies know what it's doing. When we're bringing these things in, sometimes it can take months for tissue to heal. Our bodies are always going to start healing what it feels it's its highest priority first. not maybe what you subjectively think needs help because of the symptoms you're dealing with. So just give your body some grace. Give it time to figure out what works best for it, and don't give up. Last but not least, oxytocin. Oxytocin is secreted from our pituitary gland, and it increases our mood, and it helps us bond. We secrete this hormone when we're connecting to people in a positive way. This secretes when we are in an environment of comfort and connection and support with the people we love. And so not only am I grateful for Young Living and its products that changed my life, I am grateful for the connected, supportive community that has come along with it. So thank you all so much for increasing my oxytocin today, and I wish you all happy hormones.